directly. Can we import these images directly?
Let me see, but sorry, I was a bit disconnected.
Oh
So
no,
what kind of image?
no. So yes, we can load. We can load.
DICOM image?
No. Let me see. Sorry. Let me see the image. Yeah, it's able to load the image in the format that's okay, perfect. So let's do this again. Let me delete this. Okay, so you can, oh, okay. Nonetheless, you can right click, add or replace image, and go to your image file. So these are the labels. You don't need to worry about these. These are the image files. Click open, and then you should be able to open, right? So I'm going to do this one more time. Open. And then you can press save the image in the project, yes. Scale the image, no. And you can name the image. I'm just gonna name as, whatever, image. Okay. And then you can load the image. Okay. So this is my image, right? Perfect. So I'm gonna close these just to show you. You have three views of the image, right? So you have your axial view, sagittal view, coronal view. You can move these views around using the axis here, or you can do this by scrolling your mouse um, on the screen. Similarly, you can do this for sagittal view, coronal view, and this is the 3D view where you can see the 3D constructed model. You can, if you don't like these panels showing up, these slices showing up, you can actually click here and show crosshair. So you can make it disappear, right? So it's gonna make the crosshair disappear. So you can see the crosshair. So if you click anywhere, this crosshair moves, right? So you can select any point on the image, and it can show you the crosshair. You can see that wherever you're clicking, it show you the position in the bottom right. So whatever that millimeter position, absolute position is, it's going to show you the pixel value at that location, right? For example, you click here, pixel value is 392. And this is the index of the image. This is the absolute position in millimeters, right? Okay, so far so good. You can control the intensity, right, by dragging this up and down, right? So if you want to make your image more brighter or less bright, you could kind of play with these. You can move these around up, and you can drag this up and down, or broaden the intensity map. So I like to keep it like this, like a little bit dark, so that you can actually see what's happening in the images. Okay, so is everybody following so far?
Yeah, all good so far.
Okay, was everybody able to load their images? Can you show me a thumbs up, please? I see one thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. Okay, I see 5 thumbs up. Okay. Okay, so everybody's able to load the image, is able to play around with the image and everything. Okay, so let me just okay, so I'm gonna okay, now the next thing we are gonna do is build the path line, right? So I like you can either work in the axial view. So axial view I really like because I'm kind of more used to it. But from a visualization perspective, you can see the arteries in the coronal view. So this is the aorta. You can clearly see the outline of the aorta. This is the aortic cusp. This is your left ventricle, right? So this is attached to your aorta. You can see the tissues. This is myocardial tissue, your left ventricle myocardial tissue. You can already see the outline of it. And then you can see blood with, because of contrast inside of the left ventricle, right? So this you can play around with this, right? You can see a slice of the left ventricle. You can see the aorta. So aorta has two vessels that are going to come out. So this here you can see right where my cursor is. You can see the right where my cursor is. You can see the left coronary artery, and then if you move a little bit down, So you can see the left coronary artery coming out of the aorta, right? Right here. If you see where my mouse is, this is where the left coronary artery is coming out. And then let's see the right coronary artery. Where's my right coronary artery?
Corner view is not very good to see the right coronary. Maybe use the axial view.
Actually, but it should show up on this view as well.
Yeah, it is at the end of the
Oh, this.
aorta, you see. Yeah.
So maybe let's pick another view for our right coronary artery. So Afra, you just joined, right? So we haven't gone too far. If you open up SimVascular and right click, add image, then you'll be where we are so far. Okay.
Yeah, I like had a bit of an issue. I didn't get a confirmation email from them. Like it's been like 3 days to like download it. So I just
Oh, no, it should be right away.
yeah, that's why I talked to another student as well. I'm not really sure why. So I'm just trying to troubleshoot it.
Okay, that's good. I'm recording this so you can
Yeah. Okay,
uh
thank you so
follow
much.
along. Okay, so let's look in the axial view where our left and right coronary artery is. So in the axial view, we have our left coronary artery ostium right here. So the cursor moves. If you click here, you can see the axial view. So in the axial view, you can see your left coronary artery is coming out, right? So here is the left coronary artery coming out. Okay, and it branches out. So we're going to look at all of the branches. Now let's figure out the right coronary artery. So this right coronary artery is coming out right here. So this is the right coronary artery coming out, and you can see in the other views where you see it, and this is where it's coming out in other views, right? So axial view is pretty nice because you can see both of the coronary arteries very clearly. Here is your heart valve, right? So your heart valve has 3 cusps. You can already see the heart valves and your myocardium. So let's start with the left coronary artery, right? So I'm gonna right click and say sorry, where am I? Right click on my paths, and I'm gonna start create path, and I'm gonna call my first one left anterior descending artery. So this is the main branch, right? So left anterior descending artery, and I'm gonna call it Anna. What's our naming convention?
LD 0
LAD
for this one.
LAD
Underscore 0, yes.
Okay, so we just name it LED_0. This is our primary LED branch. I'm gonna make start this, and I'm gonna double click this, and now let's start tracing this. Okay, so I'm gonna start tracing my left coronary artery. So I'm gonna start from the ostium. Here's my ostium of the left, and I'm gonna go a little bit inside the aorta because there's a reason to do that. So every time you segment, go a little bit further upstream, just because it's easy. It saves you from a lot of trouble. So instead of starting here, you always start a little bit proximally, and this goes for every branch that you're gonna segment. Okay, and I'm gonna say add, and this is gonna add a point. The point looks pretty big, so I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna say 0.2D size, and I'm gonna make it like maybe size 1. Yeah, this is, or maybe I guess size 2 wouldn't be bad, would it? Yeah, size 2 is okay. Then I'm gonna make another point. I'm gonna start following out. It's just like you're just following along the coronary tree. So you can see other views where which one is the best view. So you can see in this view, I see this kind of sticking out, the stump sticking out. So I'm gonna place my next point right here. And I'm gonna keep following along. Either any view you like, you can follow along. So here I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna correct this so it's in the center in all of the views. It's in the center in this view, and it's in the center in this view, right? So it's in the center of all of the 3 views. I'm gonna press add. I'm gonna move along. You can zoom out, right? So right click and then drag your mouse out, and right click and drag your mouse in any of the panes you want. So right click and drag your mouse in, at least on a Mac. I don't know about your computers, but you can kind of zoom out. I'm gonna press here. It's in the center here. It's in the center here. press add, and I'm gonna keep tracing. Now the LED branch branches out into the left circumflex branch and the LED branch, the primary LED branch. So you have I think this one, Anna, this one is,
Yeah, the one on the top is LED and this
yes.
one is diag.
Let's see it. So I'm going to keep following the LED branch, and we're going to come back to the LCX branch later on, right? So this branch, we're going to come back and start that in a separate path, but I'm going to follow the LED branch. So I'm going to come here, add my next point. Oh, this one is not in the center, so I'm going to move it here. Now it's in the center. I'm going to keep going, click here, make it centered here, make it centered here, add. Keep going. It's not in the center here. I'm gonna make it centered here. Zoom out, zoom in, centered. Keep going. Keep following. Click here. Maybe center. Is everybody able to follow along? Is there any trouble so far? Yes, no?
Good so far.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going as far as, and see, you can already see another branch coming. Also, this is a smaller branch. We're gonna come back to it later on, but I'm gonna follow the main branch. So main branch is a more brighter one and a thicker one. I'm gonna keep following. Hopefully this is the main branch. Sometimes I can't even figure out. Oh, so if you
I think
get
this should be a main branch.
which one? This one, Anna?
No, 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 the one that you selected.
Yeah, this is the main
This
branch.
should be.
So you keep coming. I'm gonna keep clicking add. I'm gonna keep going down. I'm gonna keep clicking add. I'm gonna keep coming down as far as I can see, or reliably. And sometimes you can lose track, but that's fine. The more you do it, the more you're gonna get used to it. I'm gonna keep pressing it.
Actually, I can show you a hack, Dr. Khan, for these times that you lose the track.
The one I know is I click the last point, and then I start.
No, no, you can add a threshold filter.
Oh, okay. So let me finish with this one, and then I can try that
Okay.
threshold. So let me keep going as far down as I can. And you can see in the 3D view, it's kind of starting to show up, right? You can keep going. I can still see it. I'm gonna keep going, and you can see it starts decreasing in diameter and in image intensity, but I'm not gonna let go of it and uh, unless it becomes really unreliable. Still see it. So you're going all the way to the apex of your heart. So I just do like press 3 slices. I'm putting every 3 slices. You can do 3 or 4 slices. It doesn't have to be very fine. You can even jump of 5 or 6 slices, as long as you have enough points to capture the curvature. So I'm going to add one more point here. Keep going. I see one point here. I'm going to keep going. And the reason why it's going so far is because this is the main, like I said, this is the LED branch, right? So this is one of the primary branches that supplies your heart with most of your blood. So about, I think, half or 40% is just supplied by this branch. How far down am I? Oh, wow. And I'm not missing anything, right? I haven't
No,
had,
it's correct. You're doing good.
yeah. As you can see, I haven't done this in since I taught Anna maybe 4 years ago, so she's back right now, but I'm gonna revise and improve myself. Good
Yeah,
exercise.
this is the heart apex right now.
Oh wow. Where am I at now, Anna?
Yeah, it is the heart apex.
It's the apex, right?
Yeah, you're at the bottom.
Oh,
So
now
LED basically is turning around the heart apex, is going toward the PDA.
yeah. These are very good images actually. No?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very nice
Is
images.
it one of the Japanese one?
No, this is an open source data set.
Oh, it's really good. The Japanese data had such a resolution.
Yeah. So this is pretty good. Okay, so I have kind of created bunch of different points, about 40 for this one, and it's going all the way from the ostium to the bottom of the heart. And what I then like to do is I like to smooth this out. So I'm gonna press smooth, and I press 1. I just want subsample of 1. And Fourier mode of 10 is fine. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna smooth, but it's also gonna kind of change the curvature as well. So you're gonna see, and it's gonna shrink the arteries at the beginning and at the end. So if you look closely, it's gonna shorten the artery. See that? And it smooth the curvature. So your vessel center lines might not be exactly at the center anymore because it smoothed them out, right? So they change they change a little bit. So that's one of the reasons I don't like doing the smoothing too much. So let's see if we can. I'm gonna do undo. So I just did 3 undos, and then I'm gonna make it the Fourier mode of what? So 10 is
Yeah.
2. Let's do like 20.
Actually, if you select based on path points, it's gonna do a better smoothing in my experience.
If I do a path points, so what's the difference?
Yeah. Basically, I don't know how to put it. It was more accurate than the center point. Center point is way shorter, and
So let's do path.
control points are, sorry, I said center point. Control point, I mean.
I should do control points or path points?
No, path points.
Okay, so let's try this. Yeah, I guess. Not bad. Yeah. Okay, so the recipe is to use use path points, but I think what it does it create?
Actually, I usually don't put a subsample. I think because you put a subsample one, it increased the amount of the points, which is good, I think. At least for our other project, that it would be really good.
Yeah. Let me do Control Z, and I'm gonna smooth this again. So folks, I'm just doing undo and then doing it. You shouldn't do it more than once. If you have done it more than once, it's gonna over smooth and ruin your vessel. So I think the recipes press 1, path point.
No, I don't put a one on subsample. Just clear that.
You don't put 1.
Yeah, that's it. And usually this is what I get.
Yeah. But there's not enough points then, right?
Yeah.
I would like to add the 1. So let's do
Okay.
undo again. And I'm gonna do 1 path points and then Fourier mode number 10. And this looks nice. I like this. Yeah, it's in the center for all of the points, you can see. But if you go to the first point, remember I told you to not put it inside, so it shrunk a little bit from that side and this side, but other than that, it looks pretty nice to me. So I'm gonna save. I'm gonna press save. Okay. So does everybody have it so far? So you probably have your own sets of images. So you probably have your own different images, right? So as long as you're building your LED branch in your image, that should be fine. Is anybody running into any troubles? Or you guys are all okay?
Good so far. It's pretty much what we did on our first lab. To
Okay.
this point.
Oh yes, yeah, you guys are doing the lab. Yes. Thumbs up if you're if thumbs up if you have gotten your LED segmented. 2. Okay, how about rest of you? 3. Oh, Seraphine, you took out your thumbs.
That was a mistake. Sorry.
So who wasn't able to finish their path line? Nobody? Everybody's okay. Okay. Craig, were you able to finish it or not finish it?
I was able to finish it.
Okay. Ravneet, you're okay? Ravia?
Yeah, I was just trying to follow along, but it seems fine for now.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure everybody's okay so far. Okay. So let's do another path. I'm gonna call this we can do it instead of doing the other branch, we can do the mini branches that came out of the LED branch, right? So I'm going to do LED underscore 1, and I'm going to go and find all of the different branches that were in LED that we didn't segment. So I'm going to go, and so this was my LCX. I'm going to come back to it later, but I'm going to go follow along my LED branch. And
That was actually a diag.
oh, that's the diag. So where's my LCX?
Yeah. It should be offered, and I mean, yeah, you should go. Yeah,
Oh.
it's here. You see?
So this is
No, this is diag. Well,
Oh, this
yeah,
is my
that's LCA.
Yeah, see, Anna, you're much better at it than I am now. Going old. Okay, so this is my diag 1 branch. It's a pretty usually it's not that big, but in this patient it's big. So you're gonna see that some patients might have a very small diag, some patients might have a bigger diag. So it doesn't matter. We're gonna start. So I'm gonna put my LED 1. And it's called diag. So what do we name Anna? Do we name it LED underscore 1 or do we call it diag?
No, we name it diag 1 underscore 0.
Diag 1 underscore 0. So this is my first diagonal branch, and you can have other diagonal branch coming out, but this is the first one. So I'm gonna turn off, just for clarity, I'm gonna turn off my LED paths. And I'm gonna start a little bit upstream. I'm gonna place my points right here, add. Okay, and then then let's follow along. I don't want to go the LED path. I'm going to do my diag. So I'm going to do, oh, sorry, why did I turn this off? So I'm going to press a point right here. Then I'm going to keep going similarly. I'm going to press a point right in the center. I'm going to keep going. Press a point right here. Then keep going. You guys, you all might have a different diag branch. Go here, keep it in the center, right? Go here, keep it in the center. Keep, how far can I go? Can I go further? I think I can go see this. Keep going. I still see something. Add. I'm gonna keep going. So it's branching out, but I don't really care about the other branch. It's too small for me to see really, right? So if you see here, it's branching out. I'll just follow the main diag branch. I cannot follow those very small branches. Those are too small for me to kind of track, but I can see the diag branch. So I'm gonna keep following it as far down as I can. Right here. Maybe even further down. Well, now it's kind of getting blurry, right? So for me, it's getting blurry. For you, I don't know. So I'm gonna show and see what my diag branch looks like. And if I put my LED 0 branch, what does it look like? Right, so here's my diag, here's my LED. Right, so for diag 1, I'm gonna smooth this out as well. I'm gonna put 1 path points 10. Let's see what it shows me. Okay. And so yeah, so it shows me lots of points. I think these are too much in my opinion. Let's see
Yeah,
if
the
I-
shorter is the better. Usually, half points gives you a more points on the best segment.
Oh no, that's not good. So
Maybe just clear subsample
to what, sorry, Anna?
and clear the subsample.
Clear.
Instead of one, put nothing.
Oh, put nothing. Okay, and then put path points.
Path points. Yeah.
Oh, then it automatically selects. Okay. Okay, yes, folks. So you press smooth. So don't just do it once. I press undo every time I did it. I press undo. So don't do it and then because it's gonna over smooth, right? So what I did was smooth, nothing here, path points, and then 10, right? So that should be, I think I should have done the same thing for the other one, but that's okay. Now I got my diag 1. Sometimes you might see another diag, so it's called diag 2. Let me see if I can see diag 2 on my side. So I'm gonna go through, go back to my diag 1, first point of diag 1, and I'm gonna track my LED branch and see if I can figure out if there is other branches in my LED. So here's my LED. Do I see any other branches? Oh, there's one more. You see that? This one is coming out of that. Yeah, so it's
It's
this one.
actually two more.
There's one more.
Two, yeah, there are two more.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna,
see this one is
yeah, this one is, oh, there's those septal branches. I don't really care. Well, I don't know if the students will be able to segment out the septal branches. Those are pretty thin and small. So let's just work with this one, these main ones. So let's see if we can track this one, this branch right here. So I'm gonna go and create, and what do we name this? Do we name this diag 2 or do we name this LED
no diag 2 underscore 1
underscore 0?
underscore 0, sorry.
So I'm gonna call this diag 2. And I'm gonna go and start tracing this diag 2 branch. So some of you might see this, some of you might not see this. So it's up to you how if you can see it on your images, then you can segment. Oftentimes it's not as clear as I have it in my images. So I'm gonna segment it on my side. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep going. And 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 it's getting a little bit blurry, but that's fine. I'm gonna keep tracking it. I'm gonna keep tracking it as much as I can. Oh, now it's getting really blurry, right? So I'm gonna probably stop at this point. Let's see if I can see it down further. Oh, I think that's enough. That's enough. So let's see it in, if we can see it in 3D. So how does it look like in 3D? So this is my, oh, yeah, so this is my diag 2 branch, right? Right here. I'm gonna smooth this out as well. I'm gonna save, smooth. What did we decide? Control the path points, this, right? Press OK.
Yes.
Looks nice. Yeah. Okay, so I've done with diag 1, all of the diag. There might be some other smaller branches, but I don't really care about them. For now, I think septal branches might be too much for you to, for the students to kind of segment out, but I'm more curious about the LCX branch, right? So I'm gonna create path and I'm gonna call this LCX underscore 0, Anna.
Yes.
Okay, so LCX branch was the other main branch that we saw when we were running down the LED path, right? So remember we had the LED. I'm gonna turn these off for now, just to keep things neat and tidy. And here you can see LED is coming out. And then we have so this one was that no, where was sorry, it was
This was a diag. Should go.
Yeah. So let's see if we have, where's my LCX? Yeah, this is
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, this is where it's coming out, the LCX branch, right? This is my LCX branch coming out. So this is the first branch that comes out of LED, right? So I'm gonna say I'm gonna start somewhere here upstream, go to my LCX, add, and then I'm gonna keep following. And then I'm gonna follow my LCX now. And sometimes you might not know how to name them, so you can just name them whatever, and you can change the name. If you think the name is wrong, you can change the name anytime afterwards, right? So you can just label them whatever you like, and once you see the 3D tree, you're gonna know what the naming conventions are once you see the whole tree. So I'm gonna add. And I can see there are a few branches that are coming out. So I'm gonna keep, oh, I've been adding it to the LED. Oh no. What have I been doing? Yeah, sorry, I was adding it to the LED. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's okay. So now it's okay. So I'm gonna add it to my LCX. So I'm adding it to LCX. Keep going. Keep going. Turn this off. And keep this in the center as much as I can. LCX. Oh, you can already see how fun this is, right? That's why Anna loves doing these. I'm gonna add this here. I'm gonna add this here. I'm gonna add this here. And I'm gonna add this here. Keep going. As far down as I can see. I think I still see an LED branch right here. Keep going. Now it's branching out into what, I don't know, more branches. I can track the main branch still. This is just is that far enough? Anna, do you go further, or this is, I think I can see more.
You should go further.
Yeah. I can see as long as you can see.
I think you have taken the OM branch at some level.
Yeah, I think there was one branch that there's one more branch that comes out of this.
No, I mean, the path that you're following seems to be the OM, at least marginal. And at some level, you lost the LCX branch. Maybe it was too blurry to see. This happened to me.
Oh,
Most of
this
the
is the
time,
obtuse
actually, this
mark now?
happens to me.
Let's see.
Yeah,
So,
it is obvious.
so
It's
this
hard
is
to
my,
tell, but yeah, it seems.
so the first one
Yeah.
is so this is supposed to be LCX, right?
Yeah,
And this is
so it's
diag
going
1,
down.
diag 2, and then so you're saying this turned into obtuse and I lost the LCX?
Um,
I thought this is the LCX.
it's-
Yeah,
I'm not sure right now.
but as long as it's in,
Maybe if you have the RCA branch, then because both of them are on the left ventricle groove.
okay, so let's smooth this out. And I think there was one more, so I'm gonna just, I don't know what, I'm gonna just call another one LCX 1. And I'm gonna follow the LCX path. I know there was one more that was branching out of LCX. So which one was it? And I was tracing down. I saw one. Yeah, was this the branch? There was a branch that was coming out. Um, yeah, this branch is coming out. So I'm gonna trace this branch as LCX1. Folks, you might, in your images, you might have your own troubles that I probably don't know of, but once you do a couple of them, and then we can go iterate, right? So next week you can try on your own, and then we can, Anna and I can help you correct some of your images. But it's sometimes when the branches get really small, it just gets hard to see when they're branching out. So you should look at a sketch of a coronary anatomy tree, just so that you're you align yourself when you're branching all of these out. So I don't see another branch coming out actually. So it's getting, yeah, it's getting really blurry. So I'm just gonna delete this because it gets really blurry pretty quickly. I don't see. It's getting, for the other branches, getting really blurry, at least for me. You might not be the same for you, but it's getting blurry for me, so I'm gonna leave these out. I'm gonna see if there are any other branches that are coming out. This is the only branch. I could have gone further down for the LCX, but let's stop there. You guys can go further if you see on your side, but I'm gonna stop here. Okay, but you should go as far down and as many branches as you can. So let's try the RCA. Okay, so I'm gonna create a path for the right coronary artery, RCA underscore 0, and we're gonna go back to our aorta, and we're gonna start with the right coronary artery. And similarly, you're gonna click here, and I'm gonna go to my RCA, and I'm gonna start with my RCA branch. I'm gonna click here. So this is the coronary artery on the right hand side. Add, and now this is a big branch, so it's pretty easy to see. Add, add, add. Adding, add. And keep adding. Yeah, so you can see smaller branches coming out from your right, right coronary artery. Add, add, Add. Add. No, it's twisting. I don't know. Keep adding. Are you all, I don't know if you guys are still following or just looking at my screen. But if you are, bravo to you because you probably have your own sets of images. So I'm building up my right coronary artery as much as I can. And I don't really care about all of the branches because I'm going to take care of them at the end. First, I need the main branch, main trunk, and then I'm gonna come figure out all of the sub branches. So it's getting pretty small. Right, so this is my right coronary artery tree. And you can see it kind of meets with the LCX branch, or it, um, yeah, so this is about as far down as I can go. So this is my, so just to show you a whole coronary tree, right? So we have our left tree right here, right? And then this is the primary branch of the right coronary artery. And then all of the different branches are going to come out of the right coronary tree. So this is my right coronary tree, okay? And all of these are the rest are my left coronary tree. So I'm going to make the branches for my right coronary tree. So let's go back to my right coronary artery. I'm going to turn off my left coronary artery and make my right coronary artery and see if there were any branches that I missed in the middle. So let's see. So there's one branch that's coming out. Not a major branch. This is, I think, this is AV1. I don't know what this,
And this SN.
sorry, what's it called?
I'm not sure about the name itself, but the abbreviation is SN.
Okay. I think it's sinoatrial. So I'm gonna call it an RCA1. And I'm gonna add,
This is a no myocardium branch, right?
yeah, it's a not, so it doesn't supply blood to your myocardium, probably supplies blood to one of your atriums. So atriums we're not so much interested in, but I'll just segment it out for completeness. So I see this right here. So I don't really care about these, meaning this small branch right from the ostium or near the ostium. It's not a main branch, so we don't really care as much about it. But because I'm doing it already, I might as well.
Yeah, I think the path is being added
Mm.
somehow weirdly. It's not
Oh,
it's not being added at the end of the vessel.
oh, this is weird.
Hmm.
Is it? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it out, Anna. I don't really care about these ones. Okay, folks. So if this main run, the one that comes out right out from the ostium, right? This is not one of the main branches, so we can leave it out. So let's see if I can find another branch that I left out. Ah, there is another one.
It's RB.
Yeah, this is the AV branch, Anna,
This is RV.
or this is the RV branch. So I'm going to create a new, call it RCA 1, and I'm going to say this is my new branch. Add, 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 and add, keep adding. And this one supplies flow to the atrium. So this doesn't supply flow to the left ventricle, but to the atrium. So it's important and good to segment out. So let's go back to our main branch, and I've segmented out one of this AV branch. Let's see if we can figure out other branches along the way. So I'm gonna keep following my RCA and see if I can see any other branch. So we figured out this branch. So we kind of segmented this. If I'm following my RCA, is there another branch I'm missing? Going down this way. So we should have one more branch, main branch coming out right here. Yeah, so I see a branch right here. Let's see in this view, if I can see it in this view. Yeah, I see one branch coming out right here. Do you see this, Anna? Or is it just?
Yeah, I see.
So I think this might be,
PDA.
so I'm just gonna call it RCA2 and I can rename it afterwards. So let's see. So I'm gonna start from this point, add, and then I'm gonna call it. Oh,
Way
oh,
too well.
just give me 1 second, folks. Yeah, let's see if I can segment this out. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a big branch. So where's my PDA? These are all very small branches. Maybe oh, where's my PLA? I would say. Yeah, in this case, I can't really see. There should be another branch that comes out right here. It should be a branch that's coming out right here for you guys, right? So there should be one more branch that we call the PLA branch maybe it's too small for this patient, or I'm just not able to see it. Oh, there it is,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, it's here. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, no, this is not it.
I think at some point you followed PLA and this big one, it seems.
Yeah, maybe this is the one. Let's see if I can track this one. So I followed this one, but this might be the one. Yeah, this is probably the one.
The
Oh,
points are not being added properly.
yeah, so sometimes if you look here, if the points, it's supposed to automatically add them in order. but it doesn't seem to be doing it. So I'm going to delete all of my points because it's not following a proper order. It seems to be adding randomly. So I'm going to start from scratch and I'm going to say, where's my, does anybody see in their images another branch here? I see this right here. Yeah, if you don't see it, probably go maybe give it another shot. You should see another branch. For me, for this patient, it's pretty small, but for other patient, it shouldn't be this small. Should be a little bit larger. So I'm going to connect. I haven't connected it to the main branch, so I'm going to connect it right here. Okay, so yeah, so now it looks like it has both the PDA and PLA. I can smooth it out if I like, and that's it, right? So I think we have a all of our main coronary arteries. So for you guys, it might be different. You might have a little bit different structure, but we have so if you go back, we have our main LAD branch coming out. LAD branches into the LCX branch. If you can see obtuse marginal 1 and 2, you should have those here as well. This is my diag 1, this is my diag 2. And in 20% of the patient, you'll have a third branch. It's called a ramus branch. So sometimes right in the middle, there's another branch that comes out. It's called ramus branch. So it's only present in about 20% of the patients. So you might see those as well in some of the patients. So you should segment these out. On the right-hand side, we have the main right coronary artery that's coming out, and then it branches into a PDA and PLA. And then you have an AV branch, and there might be some other smaller branches that you might see that you could segment, but this is probably the main structure that you wanna segment out. So let's see if we can start building up our segmentations. So I'm gonna start with LED 0 and just pick that as my first point and press OK. So press OK, double click here, and then it's showing you a cross-sectional view. If you look closely, you can slide along this cross-sectional view, right? It's gonna slide you along this cross-sectional view, and then you can kind of segment out the lumens, but this is too zoomed in, so you can't really see much. So how you can zoom out is by clicking, what is it, right? Size, yes. And then you can zoom out by pressing maybe 15. Yeah, 15 is probably. Now you can clearly see the lumen for your LED branch, right? So you can figure out the LED. So you can start, I just like to draw circles. You could pick up, but most of the times I think circles are pretty decent. So I'll just draw the circle that best fits. And this is a gradient image, right? So I'll just draw a circle. These points look too big, so I'm gonna right click, point 2D size, and I'm gonna put like 2. So these become a bit smaller. And you can play around with the size of the circle. So my circle looks pretty decent. I'm gonna keep moving. So you don't have to draw a circle every slice. You can just keep drawing. I'm gonna save, keep drawing circles right here. And then I'm gonna keep drawing circles like every and yeah. So the reason I smooth these out is because the slicer works pretty nicely if you smooth out your path lines. If you don't smooth these out, you're gonna have lots of trouble with the slicer. So you should smooth these out. So you can see when I place my circle, it's like right in the center of this gradient, right? So that's the typical approach I take. Place it right in the center, and I keep going, circle, keep going, place a circle. Oh, I don't know which one am I looking at. Yeah, this is the LED. I'm gonna place another circle. 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 And place circle. And then if you come here and press lofting preview, you can actually see how it lofts together. Right, so it's looking pretty nice. And you can go to the first slice and kind of make sure it's inside the aorta. So I'm gonna do a copy. I can copy this and paste it here inside the aorta. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it inside the aorta, just so that it has the same lumen. So it goes all the way inside the aorta. So you can start building these for all of the different vessels. So I think I'm gonna stop here for today, just because I think it should be enough work for you for the next week, so that you can build out all of your paths and your segmentations, and kind of build up your lofting models for all of the different vessels. And then you can come back and we can go through all of the different, so you can go through one by one and present your model. And we can see if there are any errors and any corrections that we recommend. And then every week we can kind of try to do these with different patients. So I think today we're gonna go through the path, and then you're gonna follow the segmentations. And then lastly, I think the week after we can build a model and a mesh. And once you go through the whole pipeline, then you'll be more, hopefully you'll be an expert by that time, once we correct all of the different things. Next week, I'll also show you if one of the patients sees plaque, right? So plaque is gonna appear bright in your images. So this patient didn't have any plaque that I could pick out. So plaque appears very bright. So imagine if you had, so let me see. Yeah, this patient didn't have any significant plaque. But if you're segmenting and you see something really bright, think of those as plaques and you should go around it, right? So you should treat that as disease and you should go around it, because that's not a lumen. So I'll find an example of patient with a plaque, and I'll show it to you next week. But this patient was pretty healthy, so that was good. Any questions so far? Is it
How many? Because I know there's like a large variety. Should we just focus on getting the left and the right coronary artery and then just start picking off branches?
Yes, so just left and right, picking off branches. So far we did left coronary artery, right coronary artery, and then we did LCX, diag 1, diag 2. You might not see diag 2 in your case. You might see diag 1. And on the right-hand side, you should do just the PDA and PLA, the two distal branches, and start with those, and then we can kind of see how good you guys are getting, and we can start doing more smaller branches. But I think if we can all do all of these main branches, then we should be okay. Any other questions? Concerns, comments? All right. Okay, so was this a little bit helpful, or did you guys learn something out of this? Is there something you want to learn for next week that I didn't include that you would be interested in learning about? Any feedback would be helpful, because I think this goes both ways, in a sense that you should also get, if there's something you want to learn about, then I can kind of cover that next week, if I didn't cover it this week.
Do you have any kind of good reference diagram or something that we could compare to? Because it could be helpful just to kind of try and visualize the
Yeah,
heart.
so
I can show you something, Dr. Fan, if that's okay.
okay, yeah, Anna, do you have something?
I can show you a case. So I think you mean by reference diagram, you mean the anatomy of the vessel, right? The anatomy of the coronary
Yeah.
trees. Okay. Yeah, let me just open this case. System seems to be very slow. Yes. This could be helpful, I think. This is segmentation that I did in one of the cases, and you can clearly see. So this is the left ventricle,
Oh,
basically, and
You're not seeing your screen.
I shared it, and I can see that.
Oh,
Maybe it is because of my connection.
can
Seems
everybody
I don't
can
understand.
everybody see our screen? Oh, I can see it. I can see
Yeah,
it.
I can see
Sorry.
your screen.
Sorry
Right,
about
so it seems that it loaded a little bit later. All right, so this is one of the cases that I was working on. So here you can see the white surface is actually the left ventricle of the patient. We segment this out, and next to the left ventricle is the right ventricle here, which we don't have it. But this is the aorta of the patient, and this is basically the left, the LAD. So it's coming out, and it basically goes all the way down. It reaches the part that left ventricle should be, there's a valve between left ventricle and right ventricle. So LAD goes toward that valve, reaches the heart apex, and goes off. And meanwhile, it gives birth to a lot of other branches. So here I have diag 1, diag 2, I have some septal branches. And then we have LCX. So between LCX and LAD, there are two other branches that is coming out exactly right from the between of these two branches. I don't know how to put it, but we call these branches intermediates. I don't know if you're supposed to segment these out in your project, but basically it is better if you know about them.
Yeah, no,
But this,
We should segment it out, Anna.
oh, okay, all right. And then we have LCX here. You see LCX and RCA, both of them, they're just like a crown for the heart, for the ventricles. So they basically, they go through the valve that actually separates the ventricles from the atriums. So here we don't have the left atrium. You can imagine it. It's behind the aorta normally. And so you see LCX is going through that, well, through that separation. And the same for RCA. RCA is actually going through that as well. And then you see we have the PDA branch here. And the way that I understand this is a PDA branch is only by looking at it, and I see that it is meeting with the LAD. So this is the way that I recognize it. That, okay, I see this is PDA. And the rest of the branches that we have here, I call them, not me actually, we call them PL. So I usually name them as PL1, PL2, PL3, as many as we have here. You can see them here. And these are the branches that they don't feed the left ventricle, so we call them no myocardium branches. So as an example, we have RV here, this is ACM. Yeah, we have a few branches here as well. But I don't know, does this help?
Yeah, that was helpful. Just trying to see kind of
Okay.
what to expect in terms of the path lines and whatnot. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you can just Google cornea anatomy and you can see all of these different branches in a sketch. So once you start building up, you will kind of see, you try to make the connection between what you're segmenting and and then what you're seeing on your different Google. Well, you can Google any of the coronary anatomy, they'll tell you what the different branches are called. Yeah.
The
Yes.
first question is going to take too much of a time for you. It was the same for me as well. But then at the end of it, you're going to do it very fast. You're going to recognize the vessels very fast.
Yeah. So right now you were probably looking at the image and you won't be able to, but once you're finished doing the 10th patient, you're probably gonna look at the image and be able to figure out what is what just looking at the images. So I think it just takes a little bit of time, and that's all. Okay.
There's also one more tool that I can share. So here on Simvascular, if you go on the top panel, if you go to the tools, there's this SV MITK segmentation. You go to the 3D tools and you hit the new. It is not necessary, but it will help you, especially for finding the smaller branches. So I name a new segmentation like segmentation 1. Okay, and so this shows up. You can choose a threshold, upper, lower threshold filter. And then you can select it like, you can play with the threshold, especially the lower threshold. You can put whatever you want. Let's try 200. And I confirm the segmentation. Okay. And now here, all of the vessels, so all of the points on the image that have a pixel value bigger than 200 are in red right now. But it would be really helpful for finding the coronary arteries as well, which we use on the second module. So you see, let me just turn on the models. Yeah, this is actually how you can find the coronaries. So you can follow them exactly.
Yeah, this looks helpful. Yes.
Yeah, that looks very helpful.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Anna. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. So we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, please try to take the first image, segment it, and try to see what you're able to get. And if you have any questions, we can take them up next week. Hopefully this was helpful. Okay.